So this game is called The Forge, one of the fastest growing Roblox games right now. I've never played this before, and for the next 24 hours, I'm grinding non-stop to see if I can turn a total noob into a pro. Okay, and here we are, spawning inside this small shack. And just so you know, this is my first time ever playing, so we're jumping straight into the tutorial. A new spirit has entered the village. Good, we need the bright sparks these days. If you're ready, then we can find— Boring! So, in this game, you actually pick from a bunch of different races. We start off as a human, but you can roll things like elf, goblin, zombie, orc, dwarf, shadow, vampire, minotaur, dragonborn, golem, phalanx, angel. There are a ton of options. All right, here goes our first spin. Come on, give me something decent. Goblin. Yeah, that's not it. Why am I that small? All right, yeah, we're re-rolling. Come on, please. And shadow. Okay, that actually looks sick. I'm keeping that. And if you look over on the left side here, you can see what each race specializes in, their stats and bonuses, which is going to matter a lot later. All right, Sensei Moro just gave me a pickaxe, and my first task is to mine 6 pebbles. And before anyone says it, no, this game isn't just about hitting rocks. You also have to fight mobs, forge weapons, and craft armor as you progress. Alright, that wraps up the first quest. We gain a level, grab a bit of cash, and now the game actually opens up its main mechanic. This is where the real gameplay begins. We walk up to the forge and throw our materials in. And I wasn't expecting this, but it's not automatic. It turns into a hands-on minigame. First, you have to build up the heat. Then, you pour in the molten metal. Once that's done, you break it open and finish by hammering it down until it's properly shaped. And just like that, we end up with a dagger and a falchion knife. Alright, next objective, we need to collect 10 pieces of ore and then take out a zombie. So let's start by focusing on the mining first. And if a zombie gets in the way, we do what we have to do. All right, there's our first target. Let's take him out. Come on, he's almost down. Nice. Honestly, not too bad for the first fight. That's all the ore we needed to collect. Now it's time to forge some more gear and finish up this next quest. Looks like this round we're working on armor. So here we go. Let's see what we cook up in the forge. Crank up the heat, pour in the molten metal, and what do we get? A hat. Yep, a hat. Well, that's gonna stop all the zombies, right? So I decided to go mine some more ore, because right now I've got a trash dagger and a helmet that looks like a bowl. I also need to upgrade to an iron pickaxe since some of these rocks require better tools. And yeah, this is just one of maybe 6 or 7 caves in the entire game. Alright, time to forge some more. I totally forgot to pick armor or a sword, so I have no idea what we're going to get. I threw in, I think, 12 stones, maybe a banana, and some cardboard. Don't ask me why I put a banana, it's whatever. Let's heat it up, pour it in, and hit it with the hammer. And boom, a shirt. Not bad. That's already better than the cat by 4. Alright, let's do that again. Throw in some stuff, heat it up, pour it, hammer it out. And what do we get this time? Pants. Okay, not bad. At least now, we've got a full outfit going on. Alright, let's do this one more time. But this time, for a weapon. Heat it up, pour it in, hammer it out, and what do we get? A banana gladius dagger. Yep, a banana. Somehow it's also a dagger. Honestly, I'm not sure if I should fight zombies or make a smoothie. Alright, so as you can see, I've finally finished Sensei Moro's first set of quests. We've leveled up a bit, got some gear, and I'm actually starting to feel like I'm getting the hang of this game. But now, the next step is to complete the levels, and there are 10 in total. The good news? I'm almost there. The bad news? I'm still missing 2 more levels before I can actually move on. So for now, I'm going to go grind, mine some ore, fight a few zombies, and do whatever it takes to hit those last 2 levels. Once I've got them, I'll be back. Alright, we just hit level 10, which means we've unlocked a brand new island, the Forgotten Kingdom. This place comes with new quests, new gear, and new rocks, but it's not all sunshine. There's definitely some evil lurking around. The first boss waits here, and there's even a lava cave we'll have to deal with. And like you saw a few seconds ago, I was mining something called basalt rock. Honestly, this is way better than the pebbles and rocks from the first world. It gives tons of ore, which is exactly what we need to upgrade our gear. So as I'm exploring, I spot something creepy. It's a skeleton. Normally, I'd have to fight this thing myself, but luckily, I didn't have to. Out of nowhere, someone shows up with a massive axe and full knight armor, just charging in and saving the day. Honestly, I don't even know who this hero is, but yeah, I'll take the assist. Thanks, Random Knight, for keeping me alive. Alright, I just found out something important. You actually get index rewards just for discovering new items, like ores, or for taking down different enemies. If I knew that sooner, I would have hit level 10 way faster, but hey, now we know. Okay, enough explaining. Time to actually use that. Let's go ahead and craft some iron armor. Back at the forge, we fire it up, heat it up, pour in the molten metal, and finish it off with the hammer. Alright, let's see what we got. Boxing gloves. So instead of a blade or something actually dangerous, I'm out here throwing hands now. Not what I expected, but honestly, I'm fine with it. Alright, moving on. We still have a few quests left to finish, and the game gives me a choice. Either defeat certain mobs, or go search for a lost cat. Yeah, I'm choosing defeat mobs. The other option just sounds way too sad, and I'm not ready for that emotionally. Alright, let's go fight something.
Oh, that's a lot of damage!
Alright, so we can finally afford a cobalt pickaxe, which is a huge upgrade. This thing has 40 mining power, 35% luck, and even comes with 2 rune slots, which is kinda insane at this stage. I'm still learning how runes actually work and how you're supposed to collect them, so we're not using those just yet, but we'll figure that out later. The important part is that with this pickaxe, I can now break basalt cores, which I couldn't do before. And that means it's time to go mining again. So, let's head out and start breaking some basalt, because we need to finish the basalt extraction quest and keep progressing. Alright, let's get to work. Okay, quick confession. I just realized I was breaking the wrong block this entire time. I completely forgot that with the cobalt pickaxe, I can actually break basalt cores now. So while I'm over here struggling, wondering why this quest feels impossible, yeah, that one's on me. Once I switched to the actual cores, everything started making way more sense. This is exactly why this game is dangerous for first-time players. One small detail, and you can waste a ton of time without even realizing it. But honestly, moments like this are kind of what make the grind fun. Every upgrade actually changes what you can do, and now that we've unlocked this, things are about to speed up fast. So let's lock in, break these basalt cores the right way, finish this extraction quest, and then see what the game throws at us next, because things are only about to get harder from here. Alright, back to mining. Okay, after that long 20-minute mining trip, we finally got enough ore to take a chance at forging some heavy armor. Now here's how the odds look. The chest plate has a 75% chance, leggings are 20%, and the helmet is only 4%. So honestly, this could go really bad. Let's see what we get. Alright, we actually pulled heavy knight leggings. They've got 27 defense, which is already better than my current leggings, so I'll definitely take that. Huge upgrade. Since we're already here, let's try forging a weapon too. Okay, we got a hammer. It does 40 damage, and that's without any enchantments or runes yet, which is actually kind of insane. On top of that, it's uncommon, so once we start upgrading and slotting runes into this thing, it could get really strong. So between the armor upgrade and this new weapon, the build is starting to come together. Next step is testing this hammer out on some mobs and seeing how much of a difference it really makes. Let's keep going. Alright, now there's one thing I really want next. A heavy knight torso. So let's head back to the forge and use my legendary 2-eyed ores, along with a bunch of other materials, to see if we can actually make this happen. These ores are way too valuable to waste, so I'm not gonna lie. This forge attempt is a little stressful. If this goes wrong, that's gonna hurt. Alright, crank the heat up, melt everything down, pour it in, and now comes the moment of truth. Come on, heavy knight chest piece. If we pull this, the build is actually going to start feeling complete. Hammer it down, one more hit. Okay, let's see what we got. That's a success. We actually got the heavy knight torso, and it comes in at 34 defense, which is a huge upgrade for my build right now. It is uncommon, so it's not the rarity I was hoping for, but honestly, I'll take it. The defense alone makes this completely worth it. Now with the leggings, the torso, and the hammer, this setup is finally starting to feel solid. I'm way tankier than before, and once I start adding runes and enchantments, this build is going to be scary. But for now, I think it's time to take this gear out and actually test it in a fight. I respun the Wheel of Races, and it landed on Dwarf. At first, I wasn't planning on re-rolling for anything crazy, but honestly, this is perfect. Dwarves are one of the best mining races in the game, which boosts my mining power and makes collecting ore way faster. Finally, all that grinding is starting to feel a little less painful. Alright, now that we've got our Dwarf race, heavy knight armor, and that crazy hammer, it's time to set our next big goal. We need to reach $100,000, because that's the price of the best pickaxe in the pickaxe shop. Right now, I can't even mine the basalt veins or the volcanic rock yet, and those are in the volcanic cave, which is way harder than anything we've faced so far. Alright, after a solid 6 to 7 hours of straight grinding, we finally did it. We hit $100,000, and that means there's only one thing left to do. We buy the lightite pickaxe. This thing is actually insane. 100 mining power, plus 30% mining speed, 45% luck, and 2 runic slots. Basically, this is the pickaxe that unlocks the next phase of the game. With this equipped, I can finally locate the volcanic cave, mine the high-tier rocks, and actually stand a chance against the bosses down there. So over here is the volcanic area, and this is how you get in. You mine straight through this rock, and underneath, straight into a lava-filled cave with 5 different mobs roaming around. And these basalt veins down here, they're actually OP. The ore gain is crazy compared to anything from earlier zones. Alright, let's test this place out properly. First fight, an elite rogue skeleton. Okay, that was way harder than the first mini-boss. That thing actually had hands, but we got him. And then, of course, the game decides to humble me immediately, because while I'm mining, a Death Axe skeleton respawns behind me. 2 hits, that's it. I didn't even have time to react. So welcome to the volcanic cave. Now this place does not mess around. Alright, this is my first volcanic rock, and it's got 4,000 health. So this is definitely not a quick break and go situation. I'm gonna grind a bunch of these out, stack up some materials, and once I've got something worth showing, I'll be right back. Alright, it's finally time to try forging a real weapon. The volcanic creatures down here are actually insane, so I need something that can actually keep up. I'm throwing 18 volcanic rocks, 12 diamonds, 6 volcanic bones from those skeletons, and 2 legendary eyes into the forge. Alright, heat it up, pour it out, hammer it down. Moment of truth. Oh, okay, we got a rare greatsword. This thing does 74 damage, and that's without any enchantments. This is officially the best weapon I've made so far. Now let's see if it's enough to survive down here. Alright, after another 4 hours of grinding, and this time it was all volcanic rocks, I decided it was finally time to try crafting the best armor I've had this entire run. So we head back to the forge, throw everything in, heat it up, pour it out, hammer it down, and honestly, I was nervous the whole time. And let's see what we got. Okay, volcanic heavy leggings. Huge upgrade. And for the torso, knight armor. That's a massive W, but we're not done yet. I took my greatsword over to the enchantment table, added some runes, and now this thing sets enemies on fire and causes explosions around them, which is just absurd. After that, I started grinding specifically for mining runes for my pickaxe. More damage, more speed, everything geared toward faster farming. And at this point, my loadout is finally starting to look legit. Alright, I'm gonna end it here. We went from a brand new noob to running around with volcanic armor, a rune-stacked greatsword, and one of the best pickaxes in the game. And honestly, this is just the beginning. I also want to give a huge thank you to everyone who's been commenting, watching, and supporting the videos. I see you, I appreciate you, and none of this happens without you. If you want to see me push even further, take on tougher bosses, and fully max out this build, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and let me know what I should go for next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.